So thank you, Lelia. We are here from making this presentation from Pallas University of Applied Sciences in Estonia. We have here evening and dark outside, and we will present the MultiWeave technique and the project. And with me here is junior researcher Liisi Tamm and our fourth-year student Christina Kasesalu, and I'm Professor Kadi. We pronounce it my family name like Pajupuu, which is like willow tree. So it's always very inspiring to hear the versions. So thank you for having us, New York Textile Month, and we plan to start with a 25 minutes or so presentation of what is MultiWeave and what kind of events we have made with it. And then after our presentation, Christina is showing you how first-year students will make a live weaving session with MultiWeave. And also they are presenting the work that they just made this week. So we are very thrilled to be here.
Yes, and hi from me also. And we discussed that at the first part, when we have the presentation, you have some questions, we are really happy to have them, but type them into the chat part, and we try to answer them. And afterwards, when we have this live presentation, then you can raise your hand and ask your questions directly. So yeah, I think now we can start with the presentation part. Yes, I hope that it's okay. First, I will introduce the university where we teach. And the University of Applied Sciences is located in Tartu. It's the second largest city in Estonia. We have around 300 students enrolled in 8 curricula. In the textile department, we focus on practical studies in textile art, design and fashion. And as Kadi mentioned before, I'm a junior researcher here in Pallas, and I'm pursuing my practice-based PhD at the Estonian Academy of Arts. I'm studying how the process of making yarn from sheep wool can change a textile designer's perception of the material. I previously participated in New York Textile Month as a finalist in the Dorothy Waxman International Textile Design Prize Competition with Anette. And here now you can see the photos from a project called Rüüruum. Those are the like process photos. Rüüruum can be translated as sartorial space. And it was a collaboration with architects. This wearable space was created for the Estonian Museum of Architecture anniversary exhibition. The inspiration came from the Turkish shepherd's cape called kepenek. In Rüüruum, you can sleep, you can move around, or you can fold it and carry as a backpack. Rüüruum is a wearable space for a fantasy future where people no longer need or own any real estate. And also one of my projects that's more connected with today's topic is called Weave, and it was also on the Dorothy Waxman Prize finalist. And it was created in 2019 with Anette. and weave is a collection of multi-weaved garments. The main challenge was to invent the ways to make large-scale fabrics in the shape of human body that you could wear. MultiWeave was quite a new technique 6 years ago, but I'm very glad that I could contribute it and with the involvement of the multi-weaving technique. And now Kadi will show her works.
So I love machines. I'm an inventor, and my main theme is developing tools and materials. And we have good news that our Pallas University has published a book about weaving, about warp and weft manipulation on hand loom. So MultiWeave is a weaving technique which has been inspired by 3D printing and peg weaving. It consists of warp and weft, but is done in a different way and with different tools than ordinary weaving looms. And to show how much we have made during past years, so this is the timeline. We started with a machine in Hackathon 2016. We have gone through various art projects and design projects, and also published a book under Pallas in 2023. And this MultiWeave is also R&D project of our school. So how did it start? It's quite a cool story, because I participated in a hackathon and got new friends there, and under the guidance of Anna Jõgi, who is a very talented person, both in building and software development, we managed to build such a working prototype of a machine that puts a weft around pre-supported warp loops. So a lot of cool people participated in this project, and I'm very thankful to them, because as a textile artist, I never thought that it could be possible that machine can be built in 48 hours. And also we participated in a second hackathon, and then we called this system Spider Weave, and our idea was to make the field of warp supports bigger, so that we can weave bigger pieces. And this is also one lovely version of this MultiWeave development. So, and hackathons is a form of working I love very much. It's working together with people from various backgrounds, and also every participant is in a very playful mode. But we didn't have resources to go on with this machine building, so now we show how we made a turn in the development and started to develop it as a craft technique. So we used laser cut very simple tools like warp supports. And now you see how I insert weft yarn into the tube, and the process of weaving is very much like 3D printer does. Like you put material layer by layer around and between the pre-supported warp loops. So this is the basic idea, and with hand tool also we make the same logic as our machine did. Now here I'm pushing the weft layers down, and the ending of the warp loops is also very simple. I just raise it over neighboring loops, and so we fix the structure. So this is the finished structure. And now the whole setting consists of legs and combs. So we have named them. So So legs are the support structure, and combs are the comb-like pieces that hold temporarily the warp loops. And this is the typical, so to say, multi-weave structure. So now we present Marilyn Piirsalu, a visual artist, who started to help me with multi-weave projects. And this is how she made one 8-meter multi-weave installation. And she also made a video of making it. And this is a close view for making it. And the material she used was very affordable packing string, but it looks really cool in these structures. And those videos she made to show how the multi-woven material acts when you fold it, how does it react with light and shadow. So you see the main characteristic of multi-weave is that the structure is very much visible, and also the connected warp loops form lines on top of the fabric. And this is her work that so far is the biggest that I know that anybody has made with multi-weave technique. And here you see on the right also the part of the tool that this piece was made with. So these works were presented the first time in 2022 exhibition Grown here in Tartu in Gallery Pallas. The design of the exhibition was made by Matis Liplop, and this work was presented so that visitors could see the tools attached to the ready-made piece. So we tried to attract people to investigate this very simple and affordable technique. This is another work by Marilyn from this same exhibition, and the setting how she wove it. So also the form of the weaving can be different from rectangular shape. So exhibition Grown, the participants were from 4 countries, mostly students and invited artists. And we made it so that we shared the tools, we sent the tools to the authors and also video instructions, and then they were free to develop the tool themselves. So it was absolutely very, very meaningful for us, so that we saw that this very simple technique enables such different outcomes. And we saw how people switched between materials. We saw combinations of organized controlled structures and glimpses of chaos. And also it was cool that the students from Sweden made totally different works than the students from our school. So it paid off that they had their own ways of finding their what interests them. Here you see the works of Anette. She was the first who made multi-weave during her graduation work from Pallas. And this is growing multi-weave structure from handmade felt. And Emilia Elvik from Sweden presented very fine structures from linen and paper yarn. And I'm especially glad that she's also one of the artists who has been developing MultiWeave, and this is her works from her exhibition, Images Knocking on the Door, and you see how interesting variations of MultiWeave she has found and developed. So these are selection of sculptures in MultiWeave technique. And these are my works, and I'm also searching for new variations, how MultiWeave can be used. And here are some samples how paper yarn and synthetic yarn is used. The forms were dyed after making, so the elements were slightly deformed, and it made them kind of alive. The contrasting colors stress the inner logic of warp and weft. So paper yarn is absolutely perfect for MultiWeave because it's so beautiful and gives this structure full credit. And why do we call it weaving? We keep answering that question, that when you think of, for instance, tapestry weaving, what you do with warp is you tension it in top and bottom, and then the weft is put there in layers. And when we think of MultiWeave, but then we don't have the frame, but we have the rigid supports for every warp loop. So this is like a schematic version of what MultiWeaving is, and how we use it is then that we use it in multiple rows. So instead of placing weft in along the warp rows, we can also do them the weft rows diagonally, or whatever configuration. And here's again stress the schematic view at on the left, the field of warp loops, and on the right how the weft is forming the fabric. It's like making a pack of layers. And here on the left, you see how the warp loops are connected, and the drawings and the samples show how you can influence the how this sample looks according to how you connect the loops. So you don't have to connect them straight parallel to the lines, but you can also use it so like here I made some works like portraits where I used to connect those warp loops so that they form some kind of faces or hints of faces. And what is different from normal weaving is also the positioning of warp rows. And we now present you some of the works and also schematically how the warp rows were positioned. And here with Marilyn's work, she uses this parallel positioning of warp rows. But as textile is like very like elastic material, it works very nicely. And this is our student Gabriela Eva. And they this course also made a project with connecting MultiWeave to second-hand clothes. So Angelica used slanted rows of warp, and Anette here used spiraling positioning of warps. This is from the graduation of MA work from Estonian Academy of Arts. And Riina built her own tool and made this modular element hexagonal. And here I show how if you use paper yarn and the tool that I built from barbecue sticks and some sheets of plastic, so I can make such graphical outcomes. Miriam Hemström is an interesting author from Sweden, and she enlarged the tool and makes big installations with MultiWeave tool and technique. And we are very proud of Svea Tisell, who is also a Swedish author and who has really developed a method how she can multi-weave furniture with using only string. And for this chair, she used 2.5 kilometers of string, and we were happy that she used fabric strings from Haine factory that is here in Tartu, and where we have very good friends. So her work supports were from plastic tubes. And on the right you see also the ready-made chair, and this is her Instagram view, and you can check her out. She has made also cool shelves and furniture. So students of Pallas have been multi-weaving during lots of projects, and here is one project where I challenged them to use multi-weave structures to go with second-hand shirts. So this was the first time they checked the idea of structure or chaos or unconstructing garments. And also structure combined with heaps of loose yarn. So this gives quite cool outcomes for the first year students who can experiment with form building, or like here, Anette has made this experiment with different colors. And this is Angelica's work of white paper yarn connected to this white jacket. And our students made a short video of some of their works, so you see the structures and also how they were connected with the garments. So also loose ends or some very organized structures. Also giving a great idea of how to connect materials, what materials to use with multi-weave, so that the structure really is visible and is like something adds to this garment. So these are works by Janeli. This is Eva Gabriela, who remade this jean jacket. So, and just the next, so these were the names of the authors from the previous setup. And this is also one line of development that we make. So we try to also combine laser cutter with multiple weft placer. So this was idea of Rasmus Eist, who is our sculpture department teacher. And we then could draw the path of the weft in Adobe Illustrator, and then make the laser cutter put the weft between the pre-supported warps. So we haven't lost our hope that sometime we are having also machine, but so far we are making those presentations and projects and of craft and design and art connections. So this was an action of Christina's course. Christina is weaving here with one pink this ribbon, and the other person was putting 3 wefts at a time. And this is how this piece turned out. So it's also fun to make, and also a great exercise for investigating heavy forms and connecting the forms, and also the graphic and sculptural outlook of those pieces is great. We are very proud of them. And this MultiWeave has inspired a lot of students, and also how we go on with those courses is that we encourage people to build their own tools. So here you see one comb that is built of barbecue sticks. So here is the first students weaving with the looms that they built themselves. And afterwards, today, you see what came out of it. So this is the situation that shows how nice it is when students are given a task, not very like limited, and they with negotiations and cooperation they have to decide what to do.
So we reached the end of the video part. I will stop sharing. And maybe now it's the time to see if we have any questions. I don't see any. So I think we can move on to Christina, and she's in the next classroom. So Christina, it's now your turn.
Hello everyone, this is Christina, and I'm in different classroom, and here we're doing some live demonstrations how to multi-weave, and we're going to show you how it's done. And with me here are some of our first year students, Matilda and Anette. Hi everyone. Hi. And they're going to show you 2 techniques. And the first one here, as you can see, is almost finished, but it's only missing an ending. And so how do you end it?
Of course, I will show you. So this is practically a finished piece. And first of all, you have to look at where the yarn ends. And you go back from here logically. So I go here, 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 and I end up here. And as you can see, I have already started it here. So basically you have these little loops, and you just take one and put it over the other. And I will show you the whole way of how I get to the end with that.
And as you can see, it goes pretty fast.
Yes, it's a pretty fast technique. And there is also, you can see there is a little hole in the middle of this piece, and it will look almost exactly the same when it's finished. So it will be a 3D structure, and the hole will still be there. So I'm really excited to show you that. Okay, so if you miss one, you just have to go back. It's pretty simple.
I have a small question for you.
Of course.
So you have been doing this for only 2 school lessons. And so what do you think about this multi-weaving technique? Do you find it hard or was it easy to learn this?
I think it was actually quite easy. First, Kadi showed us the main technique on just 1 comb. And then we already moved on to 3. And once we got the hang of it, it went by pretty quickly, actually. So it's not that hard to learn at home. And I think actually everyone that is watching this live right now should go and try it at home later. So you can see what you can make with it.
And this weave is done on our plywood, laser cut plywood that we usually use at school. And I can show you a bit here that we have a whole box of them, so we can do really, really big multi-weave pieces if we want to.
So I'm almost at the end here. I just have the last row to go.
There's a question, do we sell these? Yes, I think Kadi does sell them, but I only can say that it's not, we cannot ship them to America yet. But you can write Kadi and ask for them. But she will be soon here, and we can talk about more how you can buy them.
Okay, so as you can see, I have now reached the end. I have just this one last loop left, and this goes around quite like a worm. So the easiest way to get it off is you turn this whole structure around and you just remove the combs. So you go like this. You first remove the legs of the structure. Now I have just this left, and I will try to gently pry it off.
And here's the ready piece.
Okay, so as you can see, it's completely 3D. It looks exactly the same as it did. And we have this one last loop left here, and you just put the last yarn through here. And if it's quite loose, then you can also just make a little knot on here as well, so it wouldn't come undone. But as you can see, it looks exactly the same as it did on the combs. So this is quite a similar technique to 3D printing. You can just make whatever you want on these combs out of yarn.
Thank you. That looks really good. And if you're wondering what's happening here, and it does look a bit different than the first one, as we can see, Anette is using a different kind of device, and she also has 3 wefts doing multi-weave at the same time, going through. But can you tell us what is the difference between using 1 weft and 3 at the same time?
So the main difference is the fact that you can use 3 different colors at the same time, which speeds up the process. So as you can see, I'm making multiple rows at the same time. And it's really good when you want to do something big and fast. And in the meantime, you also have to tuck these down so you have more room to work. And you can do whatever you like. You can go like these waves, And yeah, you can use many different colors. As you can see in here, we could use 5 different colors as well. And it's also really good maybe in the future when some type of machines could do it. They could do it maybe with 10 or even 100 different wefts at the same time, which, yeah, it basically speeds up the process. And you just follow one of these, so the others will come as well.
Well, thank you for demonstrating that. And as we know that you don't have to have these laser cut ones, but if you want to start practicing it, you can do it at home using what here, so everyone can try this technique.
This is a homemade, basically comb for MultiWeave. We made it in our very first class. So what we used here is a fluid plastic that you can see has this kind of structure inside, but you can also use cardboard or just whatever material you have on hand at home. So we put barbecue sticks in these little holes, and you just put the 2 really close next to each other, and at the end you tape them together like this, so the yarn will stay up here. And this acts very similarly to the little, I think that is up here. So you can compare them a bit. And you can see that this laser cut one is a lot shorter. This can be completely customizable. So if you want a little bit of a longer weft, you can make the knots to be down here, so you can weave up this whole way. And if you want a really thin weft, you can put them up here, and you just have to do 3 or 4 rounds. And the whole of this thing is also customizable in the way that you can, for example, make a circle of it, or you can layer it like this. So there are 2 or more layers. You can also bend it like this backwards. You can basically make whichever shape you want out of this. And on here right now, I have the starting point of a MultiWeave, and this is made using recycled material from a t-shirt. So as you can see. And on this, I would be basically able to do a very similar structure to what I just took off the combs earlier. I will also show you some things that I made in the first lesson that I learned MultiWeave in. So this white one was the very first piece I made. You can see it from both sides. And then I made this black one, and they can actually be weaved together like this. So you can connect.
So no sewing.
No sewing at all. You just put the white one on the comb and you make the black one right over it. So you don't have to use anything else besides MultiWeave to connect these pieces. And this was the second one using 3 combs. So this is also quite similar to this one. Of course, this was the second piece I ever made. So, but you can see that it is a very quickly learnable process, that it's not that hard to learn at home as well.
And I also know that your class did one fashion piece using MultiWeave, and it's here. Can you say something about it? Like, how was it done? Where did the idea come from? Is it wearable?
Yes, it's completely wearable, as you can see on the mannequin. And our class's idea was to make something reflective. So for the dark Estonian autumn nights, it's good to be safe on the streets. So when cars come, they can see you because it's such a bright color. And we made it so each of us made like one piece. And then we just looked at it. We decided how we wanted to be. And then we just weaved it together piece by piece. Yes.
You also saw the making of this in the video earlier, if you maybe recognize this yellow yarn. So our first idea was actually to make a poncho, but because the technique is so variable and so creative, the end product is something completely different. And you can see we also used some recycled waste materials here to create some ruffles. And I will also try and turn this around. So you can also see a little bit of the back. So here you can see that you can weave basically anything into this structure. It doesn't have to be just yarn.
And my last question for you is, what is your next multi-weave structure gonna be? Do you have any ideas, like materials or shapes or?
So I was thinking you could use MultiWeave as an upcycle for some clothing you have at home. So for example, you have jeans and maybe they have even a hole in it. You could just multi-weave a little piece and sew it on your jeans, for example, to make the piece pop out. But you don't have to only use yarn. You could use some wires, some maybe even LED lights to make something even cooler. So it's really, you could use anything. As you saw, you can put some layers which are not even yarn like.
As you can also see here, we added some of these plastic pieces here for decoration as well. You could also weave beads or pearls into it. And also this is a 3D kind of technique, so you don't have to use just one layer. For example, you could take, we could have made this piece like this, so it could have popped out more. It could be like thicker, fluffier. So there are a lot of options on how to make fashion pieces or upcycle anything with this technique.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. I think we have some questions for Kadi Pajupuu, who is here now. So I'm gonna still ask you about, do you sell these plywood laser cut pieces or the pattern to use in Glow Forge?
So no, not yet, because we are developing the tools all the time, and the selling part has been so that people who come to the workshops, so they can buy it if they want, but we always encourage people to build their own tools or to think what material can be those warp supports. So the laser cut tools are good for kids or if you just first year students as the first multi-weaving projects, and then it's very good. But here maybe Christina can show also some variations of the tool that we made of metallic tubes and laser cut plastic elements to go with plywood base. So our most biggest ambition is to encourage people that that everything hasn't been invented yet, and also in weaving you can discover whole new ways of building 3D forms. So that's it. We want to be like encourage inventing and 3D thinking also.
Thank you. So I don't think we have any more questions at the moment, but people are happy that you shared this creation. And I think
We have one more question. About the book. Is it available for sale?
Yes, it's a book about multi-weave. It has been published by our university, Pallas University of Applied Sciences, and you can write to me to make your offer because a lot of the price depends on where in the world you are situated. So the shipping prices are quite might be quite more than the book itself. So come to Estonia and you get the book.
But what's the email address?
The email, it is you can look right to me. My email address was in the beginning of the presentation, so as Lelia is
maybe Liisi is writing it on the chat also, so you can ask directly from Kadi how to get the book.
Yes, we can also send your email to everybody who attended the webinar. Okay.
That would be nice.
Anyone else has any questions? So a lot of people are saying here, thank you. It was amazing. Fascinating process. I appreciate you encourage us to make our own tools. I can see how that would be important. So yeah, everybody is super happy to see this new tool. For me, and I am in the middle of the textile month, so I've seen everything, and it's still that was super new for me. So I appreciate last year. Also, you had a presentation about a different mood, the waves, right? To create the waves during the while weaving, and that was also mind blowing. So you are always bringing us new tools and techniques that we can think out of the box. That weaving is not just simply using the frame loom that we are used to, or the paddle loom. So thank you so much, Pajupuu. Did I say correct now, Pajupuu?
Well, thank you, and I think this is the end.
Yes, thank you everybody for attending.
Thank you. And this was our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
We hope to see
Bye.
you again in the
Thank
next
you
event.
so much.